Hey everyone, if you're in the market for a new home, you may be aware that home inspections are back. It's been a while with the inspections being waived, but now they're back. So I thought it might be an appropriate topic to go and discuss how sellers can cheat home inspections and deceive buyers into not noticing potential issues within their home. If you're new to my videos, welcome. My name is John Cummings. I'm with Better Homes and Gardens Casadon Realty, and my hope for this channel is to provide you with some information to help arm you to make the best decision with your new home purchase, your investment property, or any other real estate need. Feel free to subscribe, leave comments, reach out to me any other way, and I'd love to talk to you. Now, today's topic, I'm going to discuss 4 ways that sellers can deceive home inspectors and buyers and agents themselves when they walk through your home and potentially hide issues that a property may have. And stick around till the end, and I'll give you a couple of tips on how you can avoid being misled by any of these issues. Now, the first tactic that sellers can use, and this is a pretty common and it's pretty powerful, to be honest with you, is paint. You'd be surprised how much paint can hide sometimes. Whether this is rotting wood on door frames or window frames, or even water damage from a leaky pipe or anything in the basement, or even mold. So now, when I say it's hiding issues, now if there's a huge problem and it's just a destroyed post or a huge water leak, there's only so much paint's going to do. However, if it's the start of an issue that maybe a seller doesn't want to fix and they know about, this could hide it temporarily. So that is one thing that sellers do use to hide some of these issues. The second would be using furniture or decor, a rug, uh, pictures, anything on the walls to hide a potential issue. It could be anything such as shelving, bookcases, even moving boxes. If you've ever gone to a property and their garage or their basement is full of boxes, enough to the point where you can barely even walk around. Um, and homes with large families, we have to understand that yes, they're going to be moving, and they have a lot of moving boxes until they move. However, if you can't get a good picture of what the entire house looks like, including those areas, then it could be a red flag as to something that maybe the seller doesn't want you to see, especially if there's maybe a crawl space or an attic that you can't even really get access to because of issues, boxes in the way, or it's just barricaded to some degree, and it's just very inconvenient to get to. But those are definitely things you want to look out for. Um, the third thing that sellers can use to hide a potential issue is dehumidifiers, and dehumidifiers are very common to be used in homes. And honestly, just because there's a dehumidifier in a basement, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem. This could actually be a really good thing. It could mean that your seller um, was doing right by the property and making sure that it was dry in the basement at all times and just had a dehumidifier in there to prevent any issues. So this isn't necessarily something that means there's an issue. However, if the seller has a dehumidifier in the basement, they probably know that water has or could be in the basement. But it doesn't necessarily mean there's a bad thing happening there. But it's just something to keep your eye out. If you see a dehumidifier in a basement, look around a little further. Just keep an eye out for any water damage you see. See maybe if they put a French drain in their basement. Um, and if they did, that's could be a really good thing for you. Maybe there was a water issue and now there isn't, but it's something that you can go back and ask about to protect yourself from anything that might come after the purchase. So the fourth thing, and this isn't obviously recommended by anyone, and none of these tactics should be used by anyone. However, it happens. But providing false information about systems in your house, such as HVAC, the roof age, um, hot water heater, any of those major systems, you're going to want to know how old they are, just to see, if it's something that you may need to fix in the future. And typically with a roof repair or roof replacement, you're going to get some sort of permit involved, or even with if you put in a new HVAC system, you're likely going to need some sort of permit with the township. Um, However, if you can't get this from somebody, or you should be digging into a little bit further to see what information you can get. A lot of times on HVAC systems or hot water heaters, you'll see installation dates, or the most recent service date. Especially on furnaces, you'll see that a lot of times, or you'll see the sticker of the company that takes care of the unit. Um, but if you see that maybe the sticker was ripped off, or it was the marker was cleaned off, or you don't see anything at all, it's something that you should be asking about. These are things that you're gonna want to know. If the furnace is 20 years old, but you don't see any dates on there, but it looks very old, it's kind of a red flag, and you should be asking about it. Now, just a question for you guys. Have you ever had a bad experience with a home inspection? Have you ever, whether you're a buyer or a seller, have you ever had a bad experience with this? I'd love to hear about it. Please, leave comments below, and maybe we could discuss it. Now that we've talked about some of the ways that sellers hide these issues, let's talk about some of the tips that you can use to arm yourself if you see any of these red flags. And the first tip that I'm going to tell you, and this is the most important tip, is make sure you go to the home inspection. And I cannot stress this enough. Not everyone goes to their home inspection. They hire an inspector, and they trust that they are the experts, and they will provide the best information. And while yes, they are the experts, this is true, people make mistakes and they miss things, especially if someone is trying to hide them or mislead them. Now, inspectors are obviously trained in this. They've been around the block, and they've seen these issues before. However, it never hurts to go and have another set of eyes on everything, especially you're going to be the owner of this home. You're going to want to know the ins and outs of the home. So you should be going to the home inspection, and you should walk every part of that house and ask as many questions as you want to the inspector. You are hiring this inspector. They are working for you, and you should be asking questions about the home until everything that they're doing and everything you want to know is clear and you understand. If there's something that looks off, ask about it. And if you can't get an answer right away from the inspector, go back to your agent and have them ask the seller's agent, and get down to the answer that you need to be able to move forward with the purchase, because you don't want to walk into a situation where you're surprised with a huge water issue, or roof repair, or anything major that you could have prevented beforehand. The second thing you could do is ask for permits of any major the work that was done. Now, if they say the roof was replaced a year ago, they likely have a permit for it, and you could ask for this information. And if the owner was doing their due diligence, they should have no problem providing this to you. Another thing you could do is ask for before and after pictures. So as I mentioned earlier, paint is could hide a lot of things. So if you see a fresh paint spot somewhere, or if you see even a new deck post on their porch or deck, obviously it was replaced. So you could ask for before and after pictures, maybe to see if there was some major issue that was repaired, and see if there's any other issues that there could be involved with that. Now, again, if something was replaced or looks new, it doesn't mean there's a problem. It's just something to keep in mind when you're looking around the house, and something to go back and ask for information for. Now, are you going to be able to get all of this information from every seller? Probably not. But then it comes down to a decision of, are you willing to take that risk or not? However, if you're doing your due diligence and your seller's doing their due diligence, and you're working with your agents to get all the information, then you really should feel comfortable after any home inspection that you're making a good purchase and a good decision. Um, so that's it, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, please feel free to comment, reach out anytime, and subscribe to the videos. Have a good one.